Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, so let's take a look at this outdoor pool patio area. And first of all, let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions. So overall dimensions I have here, basically it's 16 feet from this wall here, and then I have 21 feet from this edge here to the inside edge wall over here. We have a ceiling height of 12'6". There is a bar area here, and I have that at 3 foot by 10 foot. And this section over here, you can see that from this edge here to the edge over here, I have at 20 feet. There is a counter space around this back side over here, and there is a fan as well as some recessed ceiling lights, and I think that's about it as far as the overall dimensions. So let's go ahead and turn that off and look at what we could do. So this particular client has 3 fans in there right now. I don't know the true dimensions of the fans right now, but let's just say that the fan, there's a few fans moved over to the left and right here. If I was just to place that here, this is just placing it haphazardly, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove that, and let's go ahead and do that, and then talk about what type of heaters we could place in here. So what I would probably do is one of 2 different options. Now, if we're only going to heat up this section here, this 16 foot by 20 foot section from this edge here again to this edge here, then probably you would just want 2 of the 6,000 watt units. Now this is bar stool seating height, and I'm bringing that up because typically when you're sitting at a bar stool, you're higher up than normal seating height. So if because of this 12'6" ceiling height, a 6,000 watt unit would be beneficial for this type of seating in this application. Let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat so you can see what I'm talking about. And also I'm going to show you that there is a clearance that we need to meet from the fan, not knowing what the true fan diameter is. What I've done is placed it from the edge of the fan to the edge of the heater, 18 inches. This is the fan that I'm showing, so not knowing what the true fan dimension really is may cause or may require you to push it to the left, or you could even come a little bit closer to the right. However, the distance I have right now, let's go ahead and place that on here. Sorry about the delay here. Let me tap that. Oops. And what I'll do here is there's the center point, and here's the other center point here. So you can see here that we have it at 8'10". 9 foot would probably be the ideal distance apart from each other. However, because the seating is a little bit taller than normal, table seating height, then this distance closer together would be probably more ideal, because the crossover rays right here is where your physical body is going to be, and you want to be in the ray. And so another thing I should just mention is that this is infrared light waves. Oops, sorry for taking that off. I want to take off the clearance section for a minute. This is infrared light wave. Infrared light wave is something that heats up space, so it's a specific space heater, and it doesn't heat the air, it heats mass. So the tables, chairs, floors, and of course the human body will feel that ray if you're physically in that ray. Now what I've done too, just so to keep in mind, is the fact that I have this centered within this span from this wall to this inside edge here. That's the center point of what I have, and I believe that's probably close to what that fan is. Also, the fan is centered within the countertop up here, and the distance is based off of that itself. So now if your fan is a little bit larger in diameter than what I have here, another thing that you could do, I'm going to go ahead and turn these heaters off for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off this distance here. What you could do is you could take the same units, if they had to be pushed out a little bit further left and right here, then you could take it and change the angle slightly. I have this at a 5-degree angle from straight down, 5 degrees out or in towards the center of the seating position. And let's go ahead and look at those clearances again. And those clearances, you know, we're looking at when you change that angle, you're changing the clearance angle as well. So I had to push them out at 2 inches to the left and right. But here you got that crossover ray that I was speaking of before, and you're still getting a good coverage if you needed to move the heaters further apart from each other. So the other thing is, if you're standing over here, then again, you know, a 6,000 watt unit when you're standing might be a little bit warmer than when you're sitting. So having a control system might be more ideal for you to regulate the output of the heater itself. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, because they were talking about removing a fan and placing a heater there, not knowing where those true fan, you know, positions are, I'm placing them where I think is most ideal. So you might, you know, just bring a cable, you know, wire, have your electrician do that to the heater. And then also just note that, you know, typically fans are running at 120. These are 240, so you would need to run a whole new wire system to, you know, basically from the breaker of your house all the way out to the patio structure. Or if you already have, you know, let's say a breaker over here somewhere where you have that extra, you know, these are 25 amps a piece at 240 volts. So if you have that type of power out here, you can run it from that position. But just note that you can't use the existing power source from a 120 fan. And obviously the switch, wherever that switch might be located, also needs to be changed out. If you put a control panel, you know, let's say you stick a control panel here, you bring your 120 or your 240 into that at the 25 amps for each heater, and then you run that power up into the heaters themselves. And then lastly, I just want to talk about, you know, if you have some additional seating positions and you're also looking at, you know, adding the heat to those positions, the only way you can truly do that, and I'm going to turn these ones off and then put these ones back on, the only way that you can truly do that is to, you know, add an additional unit. And let's just go 8.5 feet here roughly, and you can see that we're covering a nice portion, not all of, but a good portion of the heat, the seating position that I just placed here. Now I'm not sure what that seating position may or may not be, but I'm just letting you know that if you're looking to also heat that area, an additional unit must be added. And to side note, this is again 16 foot, the maximum throw with the heater in this configuration. The maximum throw you're going to really get is about 12 feet from left to right here. It's about 10 feet from this position here to this position here, and you can see that we have a lot of overlapping here. We could probably move it an additional 6 inches over and get a little bit better coverage. But just note that if you are having a seating position and you want that heated as well, these heaters are not going to produce any heat, for this area. You need to add that extra unit in. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you'd like us to review your plan, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. And please, if you would, tap that like button. We really need your help in making our YouTube videos more accessible to others. And also, if you have a comment or a question, feel free to add that. We really appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much. Have an excellent day.